Good Thursday night, world, and welcome to another episode of Lab Talk with the Dog God, aka the Coach, aka the Elon Musk of high performance working dogs. That is me. He is I. I am him. Yeah. And happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all on this Thursday night, on this holiday night. Hopefully, you've all had a blessed day with your family, been able to share the time with your loved ones on the Lord's so called birthday, right? At least that's what they tell us, which we know that's not his official birthday, the Lord Jesus Christ's birthday. But again, you know, his birthday is our birthday, right? On this day. So, hopefully you guys are giving honor and praise to the Most High God and saluting our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, even though this is not his birthday, but it's we understand the reason for the season, right? But I thank you guys for showing up to the classroom on Thursday night, even though it's a holiday night, even though it's your day off, but you still show up to the classroom. So big salute. And big salute to my brother Reddy with that pole position, my brother. Big salute to Cooper. Cooper with that second place. And big salute to my brother, the Bakaria. That's right, with that third place too. And then my brother Blue Line, my brother Bill's in the building. My brother Bill is in the building, man. Much love and respect to all my brothers and all the ones who will be trickling in, all the ones who might miss it but will be catching the replay. Man, big salute to all of you guys. And without further ado, please get your herbal sensations ready to go, man. Get your swisher sweets, your backwoods, your paper planes, your bongs, your edibles, get that shit ready to go. Make sure you have the best of the best when it comes to your herbal sensations, packed into it, infused into it, and get that bitch ready to go. And if you like your brewskis, you like them cold, you like your your Heinekens, your Miller Lite, you like your Coors Light, you like your IPOs, you like the malt liquors, your Schlitz, your Hurricanes, anything of that sort that tastes like hops, right? You like the taste of hops, make sure that bitch is ready to go and cold. And if you like your hard alcohol, man, you like it raw, like old dirty bastard. Ooh, baby, I like it rawski. Make sure if you like your if you like it dark or light, man, make sure that bitch ready to go, man. Make sure you have your cup ready. If you take it straight out the bottle, make sure that bitch is sitting on your table. And if you like to chase it with something, or if you like to make a concoction like the coach like to do, make sure you got that shit ready to go. Cause you know what the coach got? What the coach got? What does the coach got? I got my vodka lemonade. Big salute to my brothers. Big salute to any of my sisters who might be trickling in, who might have trickled in. Big salute to all of my dog men and dog women. Big salute. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Cheers. Ooh, that's good. Let me do it again. Oh, yeah. Always good to curve the edge. Because, with the coast, there's no days off. There's no days off when you got the dogs, man. You always got to take care of the doggies. Make sure they're happy. Make sure their kennels are clean. Make sure they're fed up. Make sure they get their normal interaction with the coach. So that there's never a day off. Plus all the other stuff that I have to do. That's right. But other than that, like I always like to do, I like to let you know how my week. My brother rock solid in the building. Yes, sir. Merry Christmas to you, brother. Rock solid. And salute to you, my brother. Well, like I always like to do, let you guys know how my week was and everything that goes on in my day to day for the most part, which of course, ain't nothing new, right? It's always work, work, and more work 3 times. You know, I am looking forward to the new year, man. I'm looking forward to the restart, the that reset, and that's the beautiful thing about the circle, that cycle, the cycle of the circle, because once that point starts and you go around that cycle, which is what I call a continuum, right? So it's a cycle that it always repeats itself, and it connects again. Once it connects again, it hits that reset. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to the reset. It's definitely been um, a trying year. You know, trials and tribulations. A lot of reflecting. A lot of assessing. Um, a lot of pivoting. Just a lot of things outside of my control. And I love to be Janet Jackson in control. So when things are outside of my control and I'm not Janet Jackson in control, ooh, I don't like that shit. I don't like that. But, it's like working out in the gym, right? What do they say when you work out in the gym, man? No pain, no gain, right? So, life is about pluses and minuses. And, you know, if you're trying to grow, there's going to be what they call growing pains. And I've always strived and worked hard for growth. And I've accepted what comes with growth, which is pluses and minuses, which is joy and pain, sunshine and rain. I don't know if y'all remember that. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all might not be of that age. I know Rock Solid is my brother Rock Solid is of that age. I know my brother Ready Red, my brother Ready is of that age. There was a song by Rob Bass called Joy and Pain. I got sunshine and rain. Man, oh man, y'all don't know that. Oh man, that's over y'all head. Y'all youngsters ain't knowing that. But that's life. It's pluses and minuses. It's two sides of every coin, and you gotta accept both equally. And that's the hard thing to do because everybody want the joy, everybody want the praises, everybody want the accolades and the cheers and the hip hip hoorays, but nobody wants the ouches and the oohs and the ahs and the oh and the no's and the the pain, and they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand, y'all. So, like I've been telling y'all these past few weeks, these maybe past month, I've been on a lot of reflecting. I've been on my reflecting of everything, my life, my dogs, you know, I've been staring at the mirror, man. And when you look in the mirror, there's a lot of things about yourself you don't like. There's things you like about yourself, but when you look hard in the mirror and you really look at yourself, you're like, there's a lot of shit I don't like. So there's a lot of shit I gotta change. There's a lot of shit that I want that I don't have. A lot of work that I gotta put in. Even though I do put in that work and more work 3 times, I feel like I'm one of the hardest working men on the planet. And I always say one because there's nothing new under the sun, right? So I'm never gonna say I'm the only one, but I feel like I'm one. But there's always more and more and more. How do you like it when it comes to work? So this week, just been on that reflective energy, and I had man, I would say a good brother, man. I had an individual reach out to me, and he was like, "Coach, man, I want to know if you're available. Are you available to? I would love to, conversate with you and have you on my platform." And he's had me on his platform before. Um, his name is Trevor with Fit Bully, I think, or I think his new name is World Pet Health or something like that. If I mess that up, you guys know who I'm talking about when it comes to Trevor and Fit Bully. He has a very strong presence online. A lot of us know about him when it comes to the dogs and stuff like that. And he reached out to me this past week, and he's always supported me. And I'm grateful for that because he never had to. You know, he has his own lane. He has his own influence. He does his own thing. But for him, to always, ever since we've interacted with each other, encourage me and tell me, I like what you're doing. Like you're doing something that's different. Like I see you. I see what you're doing. Like I see your dogs, and for him to give me an opportunity to be on his platform way back when, I was grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? And anybody else who's ever given me an opportunity to be on their platform, the RKBBs and the CDCs and the NWAs and anybody else who've invited me on their platforms. I appreciate all y'all. So either way, but Brother Trev hit me up and he's like, like, Coach, you gonna be available? I didn't even know what he wanted to talk about. Really, he didn't even tell me. But because of our relationship, and what I mean by relationship, for me, it's more of a mental and a spiritual relationship. I know he a busy man. I'm a busy man. I don't need to talk to you every day. I'm busy. I'm not expecting you to keep in contact with me all the time. I'm not expecting that. You know what I mean? I can respect your work and your workmanship, the effort you put in your craft. I can respect that. That's a relationship because that's me. I'm the same way in my craft. So I'm busy. I got a life. I got a wife. I got it. Oh, I got a heavy cross to carry, y'all. I got a heavy cross, man. Okay. So I can respect our relationship for what it is, but he's always supported me. So when he asked me if I'll be available, I didn't ask no questions. Like, sure. So, this week, we had a little interview. And when he reached out to me, he's like, hey, man, I just want to dig into you real, I didn't get enough time to dig into you before. You know what I mean? And don't take that in any type of sexual way, y'all. So we grown men, so I ain't got to say no fucking weird shit to y'all. But, he just wanted to get into my mental because, he pay attention. He see me, he see what he's here. He one of those ones that see the post, read the post. He like, okay, the coach know what he doing and know what he's saying and know what he's delivering, just like he do. Right. But I'm just in my lane. He's in his lane. But we have respect for each other because we understand the work. So he's like, man, I just want to just tap into you, man. I'm going to ask you some questions and you know what I mean? Hey, man, hour, the last time we didn't have much time, but I've been peeping you. I love what you're doing, brother. So I want to tap in. So, we had a little conversation and, when it comes to me, y'all, I have so much experience in the field. That's why I consider myself a field general. I consider myself a player coach because I got a lot of experience doing this thing we call dogs. And I have a lot of war stories, if you want to call it a war or a battle, when it comes to trying to achieve your goals at a high level when it comes to these dogs. Not only that, you're like an expansion team, right? Where you come in as you don't, me, I'll speak for myself. I didn't come in as nobody. I didn't ride nobody's wave. I didn't ride a dog wave. I didn't ride nothing. I came in organic from the soil and me and created a wave. Okay. So, for Trevor to reach out and want to communicate with me, and of course, it's still not enough time, and it's going to be a to be continued. We had a great conversation, and then that conversation, right, that him and I had, and if y'all don't know about it, go to Fit Bully's page on YouTube and you'll see it, our little interview or whatever. You can check it out yourself. It's a pretty cool interview that him and I had. It was just more of a candid discussion, y'all. And you guys, my brothers, yeah, y'all, my brothers, we already know this shit, right? Y'all already know it. So it's nothing new to y'all. But, it was conversation that sparked his mental as a dog man, because that's what we do. That's our conversation is always food for thought because we're engineers. So it always, triggers your mind to be like, well, what about, so your questions you got more and more questions now where before you might not even thought the way that, him and I is talking or you and I is talking, you might not even thought about that until we had a conversation. So anyway, that interview, got me a phone call from Gerald from All World Doberman. And if you guys don't know who he is, go give him a follow on YouTube. Go give him a follow on IG. Go give him a follow on Facebook. Like, he's real heavy into social media, just like Trevor. Go give him a follow on TikTok. But he called me. He was like, "Hey, I heard you on Trevor's channel, and man, I want to interview. I want to have you on my podcast, and then him and I, talk to each other verbally, and he has some very positive things to say about the coach. And I would say that was his first time coming across my content, because he was intrigued about the conversation. And our conversation was on that level, like how we are. It was on that level. And so, him and I, we got an interview coming up January 9th, so I will let you guys know that. And so you guys can tune into that. But, he's very intrigued, and he has a lot of respect for what I do. And he can see the vision. He understands it, and he was very encouraging, especially for someone like myself who's doing something that is not new, right? Because we already know there's nothing new under the sun, but we're bringing back the pioneer dogmen over here. We're bringing back the spirit of the ones who create the breeds. We are bringing that back. Our lane, the high performance working dog men and dog women lane, the engineers of dogs. Like, we're bringing that essence back. And for someone like Gerald, who has the Doberman and he loves the Doberman and he knows that there's things that they need to fix, my conversation sparks his dogman mental, his performance type individual, athletic type individual, like things that he knows that needs to be corrected in his breed. It sparks his mind. Like, this brother know what he's talking about. I've been thinking about this. I remember, but he's standing on it with his own program. So I want to give a shout out to, first of all of you, all my brothers here, any of my sisters that might want to tap in or tapped in or maybe watching, all of you who come to this classroom on Thursday nights to learn, who also support me as the coach, and as a pioneer dogman who's paving the way and leading by example when it comes to these dogs, and telling me, man, do your shit, keep going, coach. We see you. You know what I mean? Don't worry about this. Hey, we got you. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, because even though at the end of it all, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. But to build a true movement, it does take a team, y'all. It does take a team. And it's just so hard to create a team nowadays because, and this is old shit. This is old wise man shit. It's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, man. That's old school. Our great, 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 great ancestors, not even our parents, ancestors, was saying this the same shit, because everybody want the glory, man. Everybody want to be on the stage. And the one thing that I will tell you guys about me is that I've never been that way as a person, as an individual. I always wanted to play the background. I've never wanted to be in the front, never wanted the attention. I shunned the attention. I've always been that individual. So I could come under somebody and be a benefit to that someone, which in turn will be a benefit to me. So I, by default of nature, my DNA, my spiritual essence, and my mental was able to play my position and not feel threatened by someone who got the limelight. And even though I might have helped them get there, I didn't care that they was praising him. I didn't feel offended. I didn't feel lesser than. I knew that, you know what, that's you because you like that position. I don't. I don't like the applauses. I'd rather be the support. So I understood it early bird because that's who I am as a man. That's who I was as a child. But there's a lot of people, especially men, so-called men, who by the essence, they're not leaders. They want to be. Or who by essence, they're entertainers, but they're not leaders. That means they want to be in the front because they're entertainers, but they're not leaders, right? Me, I'm a natural born leader. I came from the essence of the spiritual world of Michael, man. Archangel Michael. I'm called for the hard missions, not the easy ones. Because I don't get caught up in the glory. The glory is the glory goes to God. I don't get caught up in the glory, man. Live today, die today when you're a true soldier. I appreciate teamwork, which makes the dream work. If I'm not able to lead in the direction that we need to go as a team, I'm gonna sit down and play my position. Because as a team, we win. I'd rather win as a team than by myself. But see, that's not the reality of life today. Everybody want to be not coach, huh? Everybody want to be on the stage and Chris Brown and shit, Michael Jackson and shit, right? They want to be Michael Jordan, but they ain't willing to put in the work as Michael Jordan. You feel what I'm talking about? You never will be Michael Jordan without the work, working more. See, when you're an entertainer, it's different, man. Then when you're an athlete, you want to be the general, right? You want to be General MacArthur, right? Mr. 5-star. Run all the military when you're a 5-star. That's a war general when you're a 5-star. Right? But you didn't want to put in that work that General MacArthur did to be the general of all armies. Right? The work you got to put in to get that. Oh, yeah, the prestige you get, but the work you willing to put in, that's where it gets lost in translation. But I digress off of that, man. I mean, the coach got a lot of wisdom in the field, man. The coach got a lot of experience in the field, man, of life and dogs. That's why I'm the coach. That's why I'm the dog god, aka the coach. And now 1, 2, 3, the Elon Musk of high performance working dogs, man. 1, 2, 3. Y'all know how the coach feel about that 1, 2, 3, that root number, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. 1, 2, 3. The pyramids. Come on, man. Come on, man. 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh man, there's so much I can teach y'all, but we gotta stick with the dogs, man. We're just gonna stick with the dogs. But I appreciate you guys. Real shit. All my brothers who fuck with the coach and just be like, yo, coach, do it. Coach, do it. Coach, what about this? What about that? Have you thought about this? All y'all sharing y'all information, sharing videos, sharing dogs, everything that y'all bring to me, okay, as the coach, I appreciate because I'm always a student first. I don't ever get caught up of being on top of this, on top of that, or being on a pedestal. I rather not. However, your position is what your position is, right? And the reason why I'm so thankful that the Most High labeled me as the coach, is that I can have coaches underneath me. Or how I like to say, coaches with me. So not only am I a coach, I just might be the head coach. What's wrong with that? But if I got brothers of or sisters or whoever of my caliber who can be labeled as a coach, which is a leader, which is a teacher, which is an example, then I can have as many qualified coaches as I want fucking with me on my team. And us as a group, I'm hoping that we're learning on that level to where what we learn here, you can pass on to others. And now you coach the people who don't know what we know, that you see, they're inspired by what you're doing. They just don't have the experience. They don't have the know-how. And you, instead of fucking feeling like you on a pedestal, now you want to coach and give back. Now you want to give back. You want to mentor and help. And even if you don't get the glory, you happy with it, because all glory goes to God. All we are is servants, man. All we are is servants, man. I might be at a higher level of servitude than you, but I'm still a servant. I still got to put in the work. My feet ain't up, kicked up with a glass of vodka lemonade. I'm just sitting around chilling now. Nah, I'm blood, sweat, and tears, and blood, sweat, and dog shit every fucking day. Every day. I'm wondering what's going to happen next every fucking day. Just like any other body out here, any other man out here, any other soldier out here just trying to figure it out and put in his work and trying to get the victory at the end. I'm just like y'all. So I was thinking about my program, and I was thinking about my formulas. And if you guys don't follow me on Facebook, I want you guys to go on Facebook and follow me on Facebook, okay? Same name, the Dog God, aka the Coach. Follow me on Facebook because you will be entertained. Now that Meta is my best friend, for some reason, they claim it's my content. I don't know. I already told you all this story. We already talked about this many times. Go look at the comments. So just be entertained. Go to the stands, man. Just go to the stands and just be entertained, man. Be entertained, man. And see how the coach, hundreds, the comment sections be in the hundreds. And I mean, you'll be entertained, man. You'll be so entertained. So please do that. But I was thinking about my program this week as well, and just looking at how far I've come since I started my actual true breeding program in 2005. And then looking at where I pivoted, where my pivot is now, and my focus is with my new cookups, future cookups, which is now, let's say the bull herder, and then the estate guardian, and then the Formula One bulldog, right? 1, 2, 3. And I was like, okay, I was going through my notes about my formulas, y'all. My formulas. I was assessing my formulas, and like, okay, well, how am I going to get my freaking natures? Because y'all know I love my freaking nature mathematics, and like, how am I going to solidify the broad range of genetics that I have in my F1 formulas? And then how am I going to set myself apart from others who might be breeding the same way? Because I'm teaching you all how I'm doing it, which I don't mind. I want us to learn from each other. I'm not, like I told you, I'm not lying about my recipes. I'm not lying about my formulas. I want us to learn from each other because I want you to push me. I want you to show me something that I didn't do, because guess what I'm going to do, especially if you're my brother, especially you're part of my squad, especially, we all come together, we allies, however we want to call each other. I'm going to ask you, like, I'm missing something. And I'm hoping that you be like, hey, coach, this is what I did. I'm hoping, because that's what I did, right? I'm showing you that, the do unto others as you want done unto yourself. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, I was like, you know what? How am I going to set myself apart when it's time, right? Because, I have everything in place. I have the DNA. I have the vision. I have the plan of action. I have the dogs. I have the lab notes. Everything's there. It's like, how am I going to set myself apart? What's going to be my focus to set myself apart? And y'all already know my name. You already know you know my wave. You know my brand, Formula One, Formula One Canines. You know what I focus on. You know, damn near my slogan: frames, brains, and motors. 1, 2, 3. Y'all know how I feel about that number 3. Y'all know how I feel about that root number 3. Frames, brains, and motors. Formula One, right? So F1. We've learned about hybrid vigor over here. I've proven to these people who spectate that I've been talking about hybrid vigor before anybody paid attention. I proved it. Showed y'all the video. It's like 3 years now, but been talking about hybrid vigor before that shit. It was like hybrid vigor was a foreign language 3 years ago, but the coach was telling y'all that 3 years ago, the world that, okay? Then the coach went ahead and broke it down and gave you the levels. Go watch it. We did a class on the levels of it. Nobody gave y'all the levels of the shit, right? Right? We did in this classroom because we are high performance working dog man engineers. We think outside the box to create the circle, right? So anyway, I'm thinking about my name, Formula One Canines, and I'm thinking about the levels to hybrid vigor and the F1s and all that shit. And I'm like, for me to set the bar the highest that the game of dogs, when it comes to competition dogs, have ever seen, I have to have F1 formulas. And I got to be willing to sell the F1 formulas. And then I also got to have the F2 formulas. Those are going to be when I sell to the Department of War, which that's my goal. I want military contracts. I already told y'all that. I think big, y'all. Like I have a recipe that nobody has. And I want you guys to think the same way as I'm thinking. Think the same way. But I also want y'all to look in the mirror and look at your dogs and look at your genetics and don't lie to yourself either. Because I'm not lying to myself. I'm not speaking fantasy conversation. I'm not Walt Disney dreaming, wishing upon a star makes no difference who you are kind of conversation to myself. I mean, y'all know I live and breed dogs. But y'all know my resume and man, y'all know my pedigree when it comes to these dogs. Y'all know a coach ain't fucking blowing smoke up his own ass. So I look at my formula. I'm like, there's a formula that I have that nobody has because I know about hybrid vigor and I know about freaks. God has given me an opportunity to witness what a freak of nature of an animal is. God has given me that experience. And like I told you before, I've owned many dogs. I've had dogs since 1998. Come on, y'all. And I've never once labeled, expressed, called a dog a freak. Never. And I've had good dogs. So God has given me an opportunity in my lifetime of being a dog man to own a dog that's a freak. And then not only that, the freak produces himself. We learned about prepotency. Test it. Okay. Test it now. So based off of that reality, then I have two of his sons who are a variant of him, but themselves. And I look at them every day, y'all. I look at them every day because I got to take care of them every day. But I'm just, as you really study, you really assess the notes and you analyze your dogs on a daily and you paying attention to the nuances of what makes them who they are as dogs. And you see, like I'm seeing, AK's sons and how they differ from him and how they're the same. And you're like, well, damn it, God, if they are prepotent like AK, oh my God, if Chopper and it's like the jackpot really for me, It's Chopper the Man Stopper. I look at him and I mean, and like I said, they all, every AK, Black Hawk, they all on that level, y'all. Y'all know that. I know it too. I know what I got. They all on that level now. I love Black Hawk because he represents his mother, which goes in my Hall of Fame. Legendary for me. Okay. Holy Spirit, my pit bull, game pit bull, y'all. And she blew at that. Ooh, the naysayers hate when I say that, but it's facts. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I live it. I live dogs, man. I got so many tales I could tell you, but I can't. Let's keep it at that. So I look at Black Hawk, and I know that he's his mother, even though he's his father at the same damn time. But I value him because he's his mother. But then I look at Chopper the Man Stopper, and I value all the different breeds of dogs that is in his genetic makeup. You know how broad that gene pool is for me, y'all, based off of what we've learned about hybrid vigor and maximum level of hybrid vigor. You know how the coach loves fucking freaks. So when I assess the DNA in the dogs, and I look at my lab notes, and I look at my possibilities of F1s, and then I look at how I need to come out and really like put my stamp on the game of dogs when it comes to high performance dogs, because you know I'm not the only one with top tier dogs, and I respect everybody who got them. But I got to make my stamp. The only way I can make my stamp is I got to come in with some freaks. So I was thinking about, I was like, man, you know, my F1s, when I do my F1s, man, I got to go out there and do the show and tell and just really flex with the F1s, because that's the ones that's going to give me my freaks. And then based off them F1s, you know what I'm saying? Like really make my name off the F1s. And once I make my name off the F1s, then I'll do the F2s. Then I'll solidify the F1 DNA, which of course we're going to tone it down. We'll tone it down because we know we decrease vigor when we go ahead and bring them back together. But each of those F1s are individual dogs. They're not the same dogs. Out of that litter of F1s, all the offspring, they're a variant of the genetic pool, which is broad. It is broad as the sea, that genetic pool of that F1. So when I tighten them up, that's going to be just enough vigor and just the right amount of tightening and compounding the genetic characteristics of those two individuals that I breed, that's it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to showcase my F1s, show the world what I got with the F1s, them freaks, and then I'll bring them together and tie them up with the F2s, and that's it. I'm not even going to go F3. I'm not even going F3 because there's a level that I want to see. And thanks to our studying, y'all, thanks to our understanding of everything that we've learned, it made me go back to my lab notes and reassess what I'm doing and reassess my program and not get caught up into making a line that's super consistent as a family. And I could say I got 10 generations of the same family of dogs. Well, I don't want that. I don't want that. Me as an artist, I don't want to dumb down my generation's line breeding. That's me. This is something that I got a revelation this week. Like this week, I got a revelation this week. Like coach wants freaks. I've witnessed a freak. There's a level that I've witnessed that I want to achieve as an engineer. I want to land rockets like Elon Musk. I want to go to Mars like Elon Musk. You've never landed a rocket like Elon Musk. So of course you're not going to think you're going to be able to go to Mars. God has blessed me with a freaking nature. I've created a lot of top tier level dogs. Okay. I haven't tested Black Hawk in the way that he's built. I haven't tested Chopper the Man Stopper in the way that he's built, because you know why? The name is Chopper the Man Stopper. You think I really want him attacking people and being and taking that energy and intensity towards people when I got nice things that if my dog finds a way to get out, which they're very clever, and he goes and does something bad to my neighbors, to their animals, to whatever, because now I sparked the flame that was in his DNA that I put in him. I'd rather not. Right? I don't have nothing to prove to myself when it comes to that because I know how to put the genetics in there. I know I put that in the dog. I assess the spirit of the animal. I could see it. When I had Black Hawk, when I used to do my pack experiments, remember when I used to tell y'all about my pack experience with my puppies because I want them to understand that if they ever get into a scuffle that they don't have to take it to the point of no return where they want to kill each other. So I used to teach my puppies that early when I could break them up. And I had Black Hawk in, and when he didn't like something, he was trying to kill the dogs. And I was able to break it up, correct it. But every time he would try to kill the dogs, he was doing damage. For him, it was different. But I knew where he got that from. His mother was like that. His grandmother was like that. His uncle is like that. So me understanding my lab notes, I'm like, well, shit, Black Hawk, that pack work is not going to work for you. You not that type of dog. You really one of them true predators. You really got that Jason Voorhees blood in you. You really got that Michael Myers type blood, not the dog Michael Myers, but the motherfucking slasher, the horror film Michael Myers. You got that blood in you where you want to murder, kill. I know where that comes from. So I got to pull him back, separate him from that bone. But see, for me in my lab notes, I'm checking that off the box, y'all. That's in my box. I check. I know who you are. And he's his father's son. So anyway, I digress. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I redefined my vision. I redefined my direction as far as how I'm going to come in the game when it's time. When I do decide to cook up these dogs, these herders, and I also was thinking about what I'm going to call mine because bull herder is not a breed. It's just something that it's a term that everybody's using because of the bull breed and the herder breed. But I was thinking like for mines, I'm not even going to call mines bull herders. I got to name mines for what it is, and I kind of been toying and playing with it, but I know it might not fly once it really gets established. But, like I'm not doing bloodlines, I'm doing lines based off of dogs. I'm not doing bloodlines because I like hybrid vigor too much, y'all. I want freaks so bad in my program. I want to get wold every time. I want to get wild every time. I want to be like, damn, I did that. Oh my God, thank you, Lord. Thank you, God, for bringing that to me. Because all I'm doing is assisting you in the lab. You control the DNA, God. All I do is mix it up in the lab and pray that you give me the explosion of hybrid vigor. But I know the mathematical equation to give me that, so I'm going to keep cooking that way until you manifest it. So I'm believing in the dogs themselves. I'm believing in, instead of it being a bull herder, I'm believing in AK. So if it's an AK line that I mix with a Dutch, a Kangal, a Malinois, a German Shepherd, whatever I choose to fucking mix AK with, it's going to be an AK and the breed. So an AK-47 chopper Malinois, that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be a bull herder because I want to stand out. When someone inquires about my, let's say, bull herder, they're going to be asking me, Coach, I want one of those AK-47 chopper bull herders, AK-47 chopper Malinois, or I want one of those Black Hawk Malinois, or I want an AK-47 chopper Kangal. I want a Black Hawk Kangal. I want a chopper the man stopper Malinois. See, because that's the F1. You know, as a consumer or a dog man, you getting 50-50, even though we know it's not 50-50, and we know that AK gonna dominate. So you know you're gonna get an AK-47 Malinois. You want AK to dominate. You accept the fact that you're getting whatever remainder Malinois, but you want it to be AK, right? Because that's who he is. That's what we want. So I've been thinking about all that this week, y'all. I've been thinking about all that this week, and I'm so grateful that I've been able to reflect. But at the same time, oh my God, I just pray to the Lord Jesus Christ that it does work itself out sooner rather than later. Oh, please, Lord. It's been a lot of work and a lot of sacrifices, a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice, but I need this to manifest itself the way it's supposed to be in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's right. Amen. All right, y'all. So let's get ready to cook. I'm gonna drop the link. And we're gonna have a good conversation tonight. So whoever's qualified, please hit that damn link. Come on up to the panel while we cook tonight and have a great discussion about genetic lotteries, about the genetic lottery. A lot of people don't know that there's a such thing as a genetic lottery, but there is. A lot of people think that breeding is a sure thing. Bando for life, my brother Bando. Big salute, Bando. Rogue Wolf, my brother, big salute. Verde, my brother, big salute. Big salute, Verde Bulls. What else we got up in here, man? Caveman. Caveman. Brother Caveman. What's good?
Same old, same old.
Okay.
Christmas dinner, that was good.
Say it again.
Christmas dinner, that was good.
Okay, man. You spend it with some family, some friends? Where you go?
Yeah, I went over to the neighbors.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a neighbor.
Salute.
A neighbor that's lived here since before my time.
Okay, that's good, man. That's great.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, salute, y'all, man.
You know, I was kind of serious about that too, Reddy.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy it might sound. I've actually had that thought before. I think it might be more useful information to people nowadays.
Are you going to share it with everybody, K-Man, or is it just you and the secret? I don't know. I mean, come on, brother. What the hell are you talking about, man?
In the chat, you was giving your spiritual advice, and then you said, "Oh, we ain't gonna talk about that. We'll talk about the dogs." And I said, "Well, maybe a second show, Reverend Harris." Reddy thought that was a crazy idea. I thought it was a good idea.
You know what?
No,
we would really
crazy means the same thing.
We would Caveman, Ready, like chat. We would really run a lot of people off because the spiritual thing is something that requires faith, and a lot of people don't even understand how to use their mind. So how am I going to expect them to understand faith, Caveman?
Word.
I don't know.
We know we got a mind.
The world sure needs it.
I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact.
World's in trouble.
But but
I'll take it. Yeah. One sword sharpens another.
Okay, watch this. So Jesus said to his disciples, man, he said, for many are called, but few are chosen. So it's only for the few anyway, man. So I respect that. You know what I mean? I respect that. But if you try to teach it to the masses, and especially if they're not, patrons of your church, then they're not ready for that. Is that they can't even. I'm not talking about you guys. All my brothers here, please. When I talk in general, y'all know I'm not talking about you. But the people in the back, they can't even comprehend what we're talking about when it comes to dogs. How are they gonna comprehend anything spiritual?
Facts.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that sooner or later it's gonna get so drastic that people are gonna start shitting and they're gonna have to do
By
something.
that time, it's too late, K-Man.
Yeah, it's about raps for that.
Yeah, it's too late when it happens that time. It's too late. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to accept it freely, it's too late when you're forced to. Like, oh my God. You know, that's why I like that deathbed confession. Like when you about to die, you think you're gonna, do that stuff. I don't believe it works that way. I mean, how can you do bad all your life, but then on your deathbed be like, okay, forgive me, and then you think you're gonna go transition to the next level? Sorry. I don't believe that.
Word.
I don't believe it. But if you want to believe it, tempt fate and try it. I ain't trying it.
No, it's like every other narrative they put out there is false, backwards. Everything about our world is backwards. People got to quit thinking that dumbass politicians are making mistakes and fucking it up. This was planned this way.
Man,
ain't nothing new under the sun. They following the blueprint that got them in there. This ain't nothing new. They're not running shit anyway. They just puppets.
Yeah, all that's coming out.
This shit's fucking whatever. It's like I said. You know what? That's above my pay grade as a human on this planet. You know, my forefathers, they weren't directed in that direction. So, I can't qualify to comprehend it, nor do I want to be a part of it. I just pray to God that I can navigate through it and be able to graduate when it's time for me to transition out of this body to the next level. Because I definitely don't want to hit the reset and do this shit over again.
Word.
I definitely don't want to do this over again. And we kind of talked like that before, but I want to move to the next phase because this shit right here is not where I want to be.
Yeah, this shit's whack.
It's like as humans, we on a hamster wheel.
Yeah, big reruns.
That's all it is. It just starts over and over and over. It's a hamster wheel. The fuck? Ain't no progression. You're doing the same shit every day, every year. What they say? There's a song that said same song, but just a different story. Where we went wrong is just the same old song, but just a different story. That's all it is. So, if you can think beyond it, which most people can't, which is fine, then you can see why you're doing what you're doing, and you can hope that at the end of it all, you did right enough to graduate and transition out of this and be with the Lord. Other than that, I don't know what else, what the world got for you. I don't know, but I don't want to be a part of that.
Just got to try to save the dogs while we here now, man.
It's all about the dogs right now. It's about the dogs.
We're done.
Yeah, it's definitely about the dogs, man. So let me put this on the ticker, man. We're gonna cook tonight about genetic lottery. How'd y'all feel about Vito and what he was talking about on Joe's show, NWA County Crossover, when he was talking about the purebreds? How do y'all feel about what he was talking about?
I liked it.
I was blown
For the
away.
most part, yeah, he was saying real stuff. Like he'd been doing the work. He'd been seeing these dogs like in their natural states, like what they really used to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Before everybody started dabbling this and that, messing the breeds up, and then saying, "Nah, we just recreating it."
Yep.
And I like, my fault. And I like the other fact that he understood what about the Brazilian bully, and that it's not for function.
Yes. Yep. I like that too. That he said that as well. Because a lot of people mistake, that wow factor of those muscles, and they think that they can do that. And him knowing that he tried that with the American Bulldog and it didn't succeed, he's accepted the fact that, this is a movement. They're making these freakish dogs. I like these freakish dogs, but this is a lane that I can get in, and I ain't got to recreate the wheel. I
Right.
just follow along and just play along with it. Where when he was younger, he was trying to recreate the will. But when, like he was saying, the will wasn't even truly created when he started. It was a fucking brand new will.
Yeah.
That shit was all over the place, that way he was describing it. The American Bulldog.
Yeah.
But, you know, like people don't want to, man, they don't want to take heed to the pioneer dogman who really try shit and can tell you from experience that it works or it doesn't. They don't want to believe those. They want to believe the end resulters who weren't the creators of the end result. They want to believe those, or the gatekeepers who want to lie to you and tell you that it was this, but it really wasn't that.
Yeah.
I seen some more of that today.
Talk about it, man.
I seen a very well-known kennel advertising the breeding, and what they were advertising, I could tell at a glance, wasn't what they were breeding.
Mm.
By the way the dogs looked.
Yeah, you can just look at the female.
Wow.
If you know your dogs, you know there's them telltale signs in the ears and the tails.
Well, check this out, K-Man. On Facebook, I've had some naysayers and spectators tell me that my dog Tigress is not an American Bulldog. They said that bitch is a Doge Bordeaux.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Huh?
I'm like, what the fuck?
They
So
really think she that a Bordeaux.
I'm like,
Saying that you don't know what you cooked up. Like, huh?
The problem is we need to drop all them labels and quit keeping the Presa and the Corso and all them dogs separated and interbreed them as one. You know what I mean? One type of working mastiff. Same with the Bulldogs.
It should just be one dog.
They're just different lines of the same fucking dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the genetics of the dogs nowadays.
They're bottlenecked.
Yeah. Now you got all these inbred problems.
Yep. What we talk
High
about all
vet
the time.
bills. High vet bills.
Yep. Low vitality. Yeah. And that's why I salute all of you, you know, coming in on this Thursday night, because we give people who might stumble across our content an opportunity to learn something that might be able to fix their problems.
Right.
Because they might have only been taught one way, and you know, maybe they've thought about it, but they just didn't have the courage to do what they thought about. And over here, we teach to think outside the box to create the circle, because we engineers. And that's what we do. We're creating better. We're not creating the same. So if we got to take something else, whether it be another breed or a different family from a different line to correct what we got going on, we're willing to do that. And we're willing to tell you the truth.
Facts.
And even as a competitor, I understand, especially in the game dog world, why some of them old timers didn't tell you the truth about the pedigree. However, at the same damn time, unless you're using the same dogs as me, don't mean you're going to get the same results genetically.
Yeah.
You might use somebody from the family of dogs, but not the same dog as me. And then that particular, like we talked about, that particular offspring might produce greater or might not produce good at all.
Right.
The only way you can get anything remotely close to what I have is if you bred the same way that I bred, with the same parents, grandparents, and then it doesn't stop there. You got to fucking develop them dogs too.
Yep.
That dog does not become a top tier performer without development, because I can do that same breeding and you get that dog instead of me, and that dog would be a piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Yep.
But in my hands, I made that motherfucker a winner, top tier, because I knew how to develop it. I knew how to bring out, you know, the lower level genetics that weren't just naturally this in the forefront. I was able to develop those and bring those out to the forefront, along with the talent that came with the genetics that was already in the dog. Whereas you know, not y'all in general, but you know, I mean, not y'all specifically, but you know, you in general, you just assumed the dog was going to do what it's supposed to do genetically. Then that dog was a piece of shit. So over here, we can tell the truth about it. We can tell you which dogs we use, what breed we use. You know, we can tell you everything, but it's a process. It's a process, and again, that's why I love the fact that I'm the Formula One of this shit. Because if you guys study Formula One racing, if you guys haven't done it, do that. There's rules that all the teams have to abide by to make it fair. Every team knows the motors. Every team, like we know each other's shit, and you have an opportunity to buy the shit if you can afford it.
Right.
However, you know what it's about? It's about getting the right parts, the right chassis, doing the right tests, having the right engineers and the right drivers to make sure that your car, which is all of our cars, is remotely damn near similar to a degree, depending on what parts you want to use. But who's going to tune it? Who's going to find, like, who's going to pick the right parts and, put everything together the right way? Who's going to have the best drivers to win? That's why I love it, because the competition makes it fair.
Yeah.
The transparency make it fair, because once they find out you cheating, you get fined for that shit. They don't play that shit.
It's illegal sports.
Yeah. Oh, he used something that we can't use. It's not fair. We're only allowed to use the wind tunnel for this amount of time, and he used it extra. That's not fair. Like, all that shit plays when you're in competition. So because we are high performance dogman engineers, our dogmen brains collectively help us raise the bar. Like, you shouldn't be trying to hide information from the super dogman computer, because all it does is hinders you, because you think you getting ahead, but you really not. Oh, I don't want coach to know that I got a sauce that he didn't think about. Why? Because you don't want me to use it too? I might use it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do it the way you did it. And at the same time, you should want me to fucking raise my bar. Because then guess what you're going to do? You're going to go back in the classroom and figure out how to raise your bar even more. I digress. Let's hit this tech, man. Let's hit this topic tonight, man. So before I get into, I'm gonna get our assistant coach in here, and this is gonna be a short one. It's not gonna be a long one, and then we know we can kind of freestyle it after the classroom with Coach ChatGPT. Topic tonight: the term genetic lottery. What does it mean, and how it applies to competition dog breeding? Okay, genetic lottery. The term, what does it mean, and how it applies to competition dog breeding? Okay, so what does that mean to you, Reddy? Genetic lottery.
I'm basically betting on the genetics that I put into a dog to come out in the litter, express itself in the litter as better than the parents.
Okay.
And to compete at its highest level ever than its brothers or sisters and shit.
Okay. So you betting on the hit based off of the parents, that whatever them parents are, you expecting the offspring to be.
And yeah, to be that prepotent and to be that exceller in competition.
Okay. That's a good lottery. That's a good one if you hit that. What about you? What about you, K, man?
Well, when you say genetic lottery, to me, the matching number is your desired trait, that you want for performance. So if there's, like in the lottery, there's 6 numbers you got to match.
Okay.
Right.
So in a dog, there's a lot more than that. Well, let's say you want speed, agility, strength, endurance, bite, intelligence. You're looking for that one ticket where all those matching numbers lined up, because in the other 20,000 or whatever, you didn't get 6 matching numbers.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So chat, I hope you guys are hearing what Reddy said, his perspective on the genetic lottery, the term, and you heard what Caveman said, the term. And of course, we're going to dive deep into it and get our assistant coach, Miss Chat GPT. She's going to help us out with the outline to kind of just help us really like define it. And like I said, our classroom is for us, right? Us to comprehend, but anybody else who might stumble across our content, I really want them to have food for thought, because nothing is guaranteed when you do this thing called breeding dogs. For me, it's an art. I've always told you guys I'm an artist. I'm not a breeder. I'm an artist because I love to create, and God has given me a gift to create dogs. Something I've always wanted to do, and I'm doing. So it's an art for me. And being that now my bar is at the highest level that a dogman's bar could ever be. What I mean by that, freaks of nature. Okay. I really need to hit the lottery genetically. And we're going to break down why playing with genetics and playing God, because we're not God, is at the end of the day like playing the lottery. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. All right. We're going to break that down tonight so that we can comprehend it, and also those of that might come in who think that they believe in theories, and they cash, they take their house to the bank. They take everything to the bank off of theories, man. They're gonna cash everything out on theory. Nah, nope. Especially when you're doing high performance working dogs, theories is just a start. Like K-Man said, it's just a start. It's a point to the starting point of the roadmap. That's all a theory is. And we're going to understand, and we're going to comprehend tonight what that means, the term genetic lottery. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Ready, do me a favor, my brother, as I narrate. If you can, watch the chat. If you see anything that I need to, stop and elaborate on, let me know.
It's still 2 chats. I can only see the one.
Oh, which one are you? So you're in the one with I think I see your name. So you're in the one with the vertical one, the one that's on like the cell phone one.
Yeah.
That's one. Okay. All right. So I mean, if you do see something, it is what it is. If you don't, it is what it is too. Okay. But I'm just saying, if you see something that you want me to stop, let me know.
I got it.
Okay. Like I've always told you guys, I am not your English teacher. I put the information on the screen. If you want to read it later on, you can. Okay, I'm going to narrate through everything. We're going to stop and elaborate. But if you want to read it, if I mispronounce something, I'm going to ask my brother Reddy to help me, because it's my brother going to do. Okay, but I'm not your English teacher, man. So don't be like, oh, coach, the coach mispronounced that word. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm a dog man. I'm a dog man engineer. Okay, so just respect the fact that I'm reading this to y'all. All right. Other than that, pay attention in class. Hey, please take your notes out. All right. So, Miss ChatGPT, our coach, she says, in thoroughbred horses, because this is where we learned in a previous masterclass that we've done how thoroughbred horse racing breeding compares to high performance working / competition dog breeding. We learned this so-called term genetic lottery. We learned that in our masterclass. So if you guys are new, go back and go watch that masterclass on thoroughbred horse breeding. Watch it. Okay, pay attention. Get your notes out. Take notes because it was an excellent class. And because they're, to me, the highest level of animal competition breeding, the highest level, okay, they taught me this term, genetic lottery. So here we go. In thoroughbred horse breeding and competition dog breeding, the term genetic lottery is blunt but accurate. It means this: even with elite parents, deep pedigrees, and smart planning, the exact genetic combination an individual offspring receives is partly random. And you don't truly know what you got until it performs. Below is how that plays out in the real world you already are studying. That's who we've been studying this shit. Lottery really means. At conception, each parent contributes 50% of their genes, but genes are shuffled, not evenly divided. Traits are controlled by many genes, not one. Some genes mask others. Dominance, recessive, what's that? Was that ready?
Epistasis.
Epistasis. Okay. I don't even know. What does that mean? We got to look that one up. I don't even know what that means. Epistasis. Performance traits, speed, stamina, drive, nerve, recovery are polygenic. So two full siblings can be night and day different. Okay, so that right, I want to stop right there. What does that mean to you when she says that two full siblings can be night and day different, even though they come from the same genetic pool? What does that mean to y'all?
They didn't get the same traits.
Okay.
Some are dominant and some are silent, like non-dominant.
Yeah. And there's also co-dominant. But yeah, there's like for every trait on that dog, there's 4 different possibilities of what it's going to get, depending on, how tight the breeding of the parents are and if they're related to each other. But let's say mom carried 2 different copies or 2 different genes for the same allele, let's say for color, and the father did too. There's 4 different genes that those dogs can get.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, you know how some people are scared to do brother-sister breedings. However, depending on how that offspring was bred, like with the F1s per se, where it's 50-50, like 50% this, 50% that, not heavily inbred or line bred, and you're dealing with a cluster of genes that's shuffled in each offspring, and how even though you got brothers and sisters who come from the same womb or the mom, they could be 2 different dogs genetically.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're playing the lottery and you're assuming that you're going to hit these particular numbers based off of, your prediction of how you're going to hit those numbers based off, what I mean? Like, this is why we need to really assess the fact that, I don't know how many different gene combinations there are, Caveman. You got an idea of it. I mean, you said something like some crazy amount of 20,000.
They don't have it nailed down, but there's around 20,000 different genes.
Okay.
I think there's like about 350 different locations on the DNA for those. So the dog would have like 700, but within the whole dog genome, there's like 20,000.
Okay. So imagine that shuffled up, like she was saying. The genes are shuffled up and not evenly divided. So there's no way we as men or women in our finite mind of human, existence can predict these things, these genes in these dogs. Okay. So just understand that part when she breaks it down, the genetic lottery and what it really means. Okay. Now she says that unpredictability is the lottery. She goes, in thoroughbred horse breeding, why blue bloods still miss? Elite stallion times elite mare, perfect paper, looks great as a yearling, but never runs fast, breaks down, or lacks heart. Meanwhile, a modestly priced foal becomes a grade 1 monster. Classic example, Secretariats. Pedigree wasn't revolutionary on paper. Inherited a rare combination, massive heart, efficient strive, aerobic dominance. His siblings did not replicate him. Okay. I'm going to stop there. We learned about Secretariat. Some people who haven't studied Secretariat, they might think that the reason why they was breeding Secretariat because he replicated himself. Well, that's not the truth.
Nah.
They bred Secretariat because they was hoping and praying to hit the genetic lottery. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because when you have a freak, which she just broke down, inherited a rare combination, that Secretariat was the hit of the genetic lottery. They wasn't planning on, they didn't know that was going to work. That wasn't planned based off of pedigree. Let's go. Here we go. Pedigree wasn't revolutionary. So if my pedigree wasn't revolutionary, I wasn't expecting to hit the lottery off the pedigree. There was no predictions, but based off of that randomness and that shuffle of those genetics that was in Secretariat, they hit the lottery. And then because of that rareness and that lottery hit, they took Secretariat, which came from those genes that was unexpected to produce Secretariat. And it's like, we got to keep breeding them. They kept playing it. That's why they kept breeding Secretariat.
It wasn't a producer.
You wasn't going to hit the lottery with Secretariat. He wasn't prepotent. That shit was rare. His pedigree wasn't top tier. Not in the sense that, we already learned with we learned with the thoroughbred that all of it is,
they all related.
Yeah, and it's all a level of quality in their gene pool. However, they grade off of performance. That's how they grade those pedigrees, winners, right, and producers. So let's say Secretariat's pedigree wasn't star-studded with winners. Let's say that wasn't star-studded. Okay, but like she said before we got to Secretariat, meanwhile, a modestly priced foal becomes a grade A1 monster. That's why we tell you breed everything. That's why when you deal with thoroughbred racehorses, even though their horses are fucking loser, they still breed it.
Yeah. Still got the genetics on them.
Still hoping to hit the lottery. We still hoping to hit the lottery because it's not guaranteed that we gonna get something just because the horse was fucking star-studded and his pedigree was star-studded. So we trying to roll. Every scratcher we buying. We running every number combination because we rich to hit that fucking lottery one time. Now let's keep on. His siblings did not replicate him. That wasn't designed. It was winning the lottery ticket, which that's what we just described. That wasn't designed. It was just, it was just luck of the genetic combination, the shuffle. Why breeders still play? You can increase odds, not guarantee outcomes. Line breeding improves predictability, but the final result is revealed only on the track. Okay, so you guys follow that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and like I said, this is where we first learned about genetic lottery. Okay, this is and this is how we should mimic our program. That's how they do that with these thoroughbred racehorses. This is how you should mimic your program. Okay, let's keep it going. In competition dogs, in working and competition dogs, the genetic lottery means same litter, different results. One pup is elite, one is average, one washes out. All from the same parents. Why this happens? Drive, nerve, pain tolerance, recovery, intelligence equals polygenic. Some traits don't turn on without the right gene stacking. Environmental triggers reveal or suppress genetic potentials. Key reality: you can breed correctly, stack proven dogs, do everything right, and still miss. Breeding is the lottery.
Breaking up, coach.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. No.
Is it breaking up?
No.
Okay, let me read that again. In working and competition dogs, the genetic lottery means same litter, different results. Pup is elite, one is average, one washes out. All from the same parents. Why this happens? Drive, nerve, pain tolerance, recovery, intelligence equal polygenic. Some traits don't turn on without the right gene stacking. Environmental triggers reveal or suppress genetic potential. Key reality: you can breed correctly, stack proven dogs, do everything right, and still miss. This miss isn't bad breeding, it's the lottery. Did you guys hear what I said?
Yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
okay, great. So what do y'all get out of it? Like, what does that tell y'all? Anything y'all want to add to that?
Yeah. It's a it's a real lottery. It doesn't even matter if you got everything correct.
Yep.
Still, it could be whack dogs, correct dogs, dogs that are, I guess, got health issues
Yep.
with dogs that are perfectly healthy.
Yep.
It's hit or miss.
Yep. Dogs that are winners and champions, the dogs that are cold and curs,
Hot. Yeah.
dogs that are so-called perfect to dogs that got flaws, dogs with weak pedigrees, dogs with star-studded pedigrees. You just don't know. The only thing that we do is we try to stack the odds to where it's for us and not against us, which is matching the right genetic characteristics with the right genetic characteristics. And real talk, this is my theory that I'm going to try, is playing with these F1s. I honestly believe, this is my opinion, but this is what I believe. And I go back to the game dog world because that's where, that's our number one breed. All of us said the pit bulls, we got to go back to the competition dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing those crosses. They found the holy grail of competition, of advancing competition when they started doing them crosses. When they started crossing other breeds and they didn't tell you, they found God.
Mm-hmm.
when it came to genetics and explosiveness of genetics. They found the most high God in them dogs, them competition dogs. They found the Holy Grail when they was crossing the different family of dogs. But when they threw that secret sauce that you didn't even know, because they was lacking that wind or they was lacking whatever they was lacking, and they had the resources to cross something in there, and they did it by trial and error, and they found dogs that looked just like pit bulls. Matter of fact, they wasn't even sweating you about how your dog looked when you was in the box.
Right.
It was just waiting a date. That's when they found God in them damn competition dogs. When they revitalized those genetics and made them dogs born again.
Yeah, I think every time somebody tells me my band dogs or my Great Dane look just like pit bulls, that just proves how purebred the pit bulls are.
Right.
But those are the more dominant. Those shit show up more. You could tell that if anybody mixed the pit bull in any breed, you could see the pit.
But I can see a pit in a goddamn fucking
And the Malinois and the
no, I'm gonna go even step fuck, what is that damn dog? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Labrador. I can see the pit in a Labrador.
I know people that got lines of red nose. They call them shotgun nose pit bulls. And they got like a Labrador head. Like lab head pits.
Yeah, Lab is a Mastiff Spaniel mix.
But tighten the skin on a Lab and shrink it down to about 35, 45 pounds. And don't it look like a pit bull?
Yeah.
Shorten the hair a little bit, a tad bit. Don't it look like a pit bull? Just, shorten the hair a tad bit because the Lab got a little bit thicker coat.
Yeah. I had a Lab mix with a pit before. And that joint look straight pit bull.
Straight pit bull, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And my boy had a golden retriever mixed with a pit. That joint was all white, and it was furry like the golden, but it looked like a straight pit.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all this thing too. Some of my pit bull guys might be able to agree. Some of y'all might not. I don't care. You know what I used to do when I was young? When I had my pit bulls in the 90s, and I was trying to I didn't know the term back then, but school the dog. I would take my dog, my pit bull, and as a puppy, I would grab it by the back of his neck, right? And then I would like hold it down. And you know how the dog want to fight, try to wiggle his way out. And I would hold it down and be trying to wiggle his way out, and it would get frustrated.
Yeah.
And then I would encourage it. But I'll keep holding him down. And then of course he'd get mad.
Yeah.
And I'll encourage him. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. And I keep doing it over and over. And then guess what happened to that dog? Anytime that I would confront it, oh, he was serious.
Yeah.
Now, I was schooling my dog's mental because anytime we would play our little game, me and my partners, and their dog would confront my dog, automatically automatically it's playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that dog come on it, it's trying to fight his way out. It's trying to fight his way out. So it goes back to like what we were talking about with competition dogs. If a competition dog was in my hand versus somebody else's hands, and it had top tier genetics built for performance, but you didn't know how to school it to be what you wanted it to be, and I did. And then that dog ended up being a piece of shit in your hands, but because I knew how to school it from a puppy, and it became a fucking stone cold, winner. Is that the dog's fault? No, it's my expertise as a dog man. It's your fault as a dog man. It's your fault as a dog man. The dog, I put the genetics in the dog. I put the win in it. I put the agility in it. I put the toughness in it. I put the mouth in it. I put the lungs in it. Like everything I put in it, now it's time for me to develop that dog. You know what I'm saying? So part of hitting the lottery with these animals is also the development of what you have in this animal, because you just can't expect to get a Secretariat without training a Secretariat. Because some people really think because Secretariat had the big heart and all that shit, he was just born to win. Nope. That heart had to be developed just like every other horse he competed with. His heart just happened to be bigger. That stride had to be developed just like any other horse's stride. That conditioning had to be put, like that training had to be the same. If you was a pussy boy, excuse my language, but if you was a weak trainer, you might not have gotten that result and made Secretariat want to use his talent. Just think about how many people we know as humans got talent, but they're not using it. Think about that.
That's a fact.
You got so much talent, but you're just sitting on it. What can I do to make you develop your talent? Because you got a gift. Same thing with our dogs. Same thing with Secretariat. So there's a lot of quality animals that you might have hit the lottery on, but you didn't know how to bring it out of that animal.
Mm-hmm.
So it lay dormant. The talent lay dormant because you didn't motivate the animal to be its best. Let's carry on. How pros try to beat the odds. Number one, prepotency. A prepotent sire / dame reduces randomness by consistently passing on traits. 2, line breeding increases predictability by concentrating proven genes. 3, selection pressure, only breeding animals that proved it, not just look good. 4, large sample size. Top breeders don't judge one pup, they judge litters over time. Let's stop there. What do y'all think about that? Ready?
Shit.
How pros try to beat the odds.
Trying to get the luck more to hit, so they use dogs that they know are more successful to dominate in the litter, on a litter.
Yeah.
But it's still a lottery. It's no matter what. It's still, but there's more of a higher chance you might hit.
Yes. That's how we beat the odds, ready?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We still know it's not guaranteed, but because we're stacking the odds for us versus against us, this is why we're doing it this particular way.
Right.
What about you, K-Mans?
I would say, you're throwing out losing numbers and replacing them with winning numbers.
Facts.
Your number combination when you're locking down traits.
Yes.
If you're not just randomly throwing traits in. Well, it's all about big numbers and high selection pressure.
Yep, that's what she said. She says top breeders don't judge one pup, they judge litters over time. So remember how we always talk about keep the whole litters?
Yep.
See, some people in the back of the class, they might think you keep whole litters because you can't sell puppies and stuff like that. They might think that you say that, but those people, they don't make dogs. They don't understand how this shit works. They don't understand why, let's say, the coach speak the way he speak, teaches the way he teach. Why Caveman also said that same type of thing. Like, you got to make sure you have time. You got to make sure you assess dogs. You got to assess your litters to know this is proven. And Miss Coach ChatGPT expressed that, told us that. So we're on the right track, you guys. Okay, guys and gals, we're on the right track. So please pay attention in class. Don't listen to the spectators. Don't listen to the commentators. Listen to the people who really do this shit. Okay. You will learn more from people who's doing what you want to do versus those people who talking about it. Let's keep going. One great dog equals luck.
Breaking up again.
Okay, hold on. I think I gotta be closer. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, I gotta be closer. That's why I gotta be closer. All right. One great dog equals luck. Repeated great dogs equals breeding skill. And that's what we should all be striving for at the end of it all is repeated great dogs, which shows our breeding skills. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, ready. Hey, thank you. Let me know that too. Like if you hear me breaking up, let me know so I can get closer to this computer right here.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. One of these days, as the classroom grows, I will invest in a microphone and all that other stuff. But until then, we just gotta make do. But thank you, ready, kids. You know what I'm saying? Keep me on point.
Yep.
All right. Now, what the genetic lottery is not. It does not mean breeding is guesswork. It does not mean pedigree doesn't matter. It does not mean random crosses are better. It means breeding sets the probability range. Performance reveals the results. Do we get that?
Yeah.
Okay, man, we good?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Just want to make sure, make sure you got any input on before I move on. Bottom line, straight talk. Breeding is probability management, not certainty. The better the breeding program, the better the odds. The final individual is still a roll of the dice. In both thoroughbreds and competition dogs, you don't know what you breed until it runs, works, or competes. So she talk about if I want to do that. So we moving on. That's it. That's all we got to go with that. Okay. So let me go ahead and close this out, and we'll elaborate more on this. Make sure we got everybody here. All right. So anything that you guys want to add to our conversation? I see the chat. Okay, so let me go into the chat. K-Man, if you can mute.
Say that again.
I said, if you can't hit mute until you're ready to talk.
Okay, yeah, I got some background noise again.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, so Verde, he says, so achieving not just better genetics. Oh, shit, we lost Ready. You there, Ready?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Verde says, so achieving not just better genetic, but actually greater physical ability when it comes to things of.
Can't hear y'all now.
Oh, you can't hear us?
I'm gonna leave and come back. Damn. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me, K-Man?
Yeah, I hear you. I heard Ready.
Yeah, I heard Ready too, but he can't hear us, so he's going in and going out. All right, put yours on mute, K-Man. Okay, so let me read this again, Verde Bulls. So achieving not just better genetics, but actually greater physical ability when it comes to things of its nature, or even surpassing its true nature potentially. Okay, so I'm trying to understand what you're asking. K-Man, do you understand what Verde is asking?
Yeah, I'm back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Can you read that again?
This was from earlier.
Yeah, I'm just reading all the ones because we didn't get a chance to read everything.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll read it one more time, K-Man, or Ready. If you understand it too, let me know. So Verdes asks, he says, so achieving not just better genetics, but actually greater physical ability when it comes to things of its nature, or even surpassing its true nature potential. So I don't really necessarily know, because like you said, it was
That's when you asked me about what I thought about the genetic lottery in the beginning. And I said getting a better gen basically getting a better puppy that's gonna be elite at an elite level.
okay. So
Hello?
that's what he was asking.
But
Yeah.
it's kind of I don't know what you call it, a misnomer or what. I don't know what you call it, but better performance, better physical traits is better genetics.
I agree.
But yeah,
Mhm.
that's what we were talking about is improving performance by refining all the different traits that it takes to get performance. You
Right.
know, like adding the speed to a dog that's got
That's
power but slow, or adding some wind to a dog that can sprint, but can't go the long distance.
right. Things that make sense.
You know, and just taking those undesirable traits out of the program and adding new desirable traits, to replace the next one. Because basically that's what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing one or two or three traits at a time. You're not going to be
I'm doing one,
yeah,
two.
not going to be a one batch thing
Yeah.
unless you're piggybacking off somebody else's work, and just refining that or something.
Which I recommend as dogman engineers. If you can piggyback off of somebody else's work, do that. Don't get in your pride and think you're gonna start from scratch and think you're gonna really, elevate your program to the highest level in a short amount of time. You're gonna have to use not cheat codes, but you're gonna have to piggyback and be okay with that and be grateful if you're able to benefit off of somebody else's hard work to add their genetics to your gene pool. Be okay with that.
Yeah, that's only common sense is to use the best resources you got access to.
Yep.
Right. Start out with the best ingredients you can.
Yeah.
Ingredients is the key. Go ahead, Reddy.
No, I was agreeing.
Yeah, the ingredients, you always hear us talk about cooking. We talk about tools, genetic tools, engineering, science, theories, hypotheses, all these things. You want to have all the pieces you can to experiment with. And when you're dealing with dogs or any type of livestock in general, you want the best of the best. You want the most refined genetics you can find so that when you add it to yours, all that hard work of that new addition, you don't have to worry about. All you got to worry about is your shit.
Yep.
It's easier for
Breaking up.
No, he's just gone. Nope.
Breaking up still.
He's underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he's in a submarine.
Scuba.
Periscope. Keep it rolling, Reddy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. Damn it, man. Oh, my Lord. But y'all can hear me now. It's better.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. All right, so let's hit what Verde he asked. He says, topic itself, when coming into the lane of creation, have people throw that mutt label on camps and not know about diversity, but we know the diversity and at least we're transparent about it. Yeah. But they're not in our lane, though, Verde.
Right.
Chat. So we don't expect them to know. We expect them to throw around that mutt and all that stuff because they don't create dogs. They would never be the ones that create a breed. So that's expected. Very much expected. Salute, Tony.
Salute, Tony.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't even know their dog breed was made from mutts.
Man, I don't like to use that
It's
term
like
mutt.
crossbreed. It's like saying the N-word, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah. A mutt is something.
negative.
Mutts are something random, like your loose dogs goes and just fucks the neighbor's fucking chihuahua, or
Like some hoe and shit.
I like to tell people they're a mutt.
We all are mutts.
You're all mutts. Can't create without mixing like the right way.
Yeah, that cousin, they do that shit overseas and stuff like that, right? You go to these countries that they don't got no rules to their regulations, but they bloodlines is trash anyway. So it is what it is. But when you care about the vitality of your family as a human, as humans, you got money to do medical research on your DNA and your blood, and you see all the disease in your shit. You see your aunties, uncles, grandfathers die of all these diseases and shit. You having babies. Yeah, you having babies with Down syndrome and whatever, autism and all kind of shit that's going on today, man. You like, fuck, I gotta revamp my genetic pool.
Facts.
I can't be fucking on my cousins no more. I can't fuck my sister no more. Like, that's what they do in these countries that don't got this shit that we got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It is what it is, but watch this.
Bottlenecked.
But watch this. You see how we assess these dogs, and with technology, we're able to, do certain embarks to see what type of diseases and stuff your dogs have, or whatever, and all that type of stuff that's out here. As humans, if you in love with your girl or she in love with you, you fucking get with her, you marry the bitch. You don't know what type of diseases her family got. You don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know, you don't know what you're gonna be reproducing and shit. You just in love with the bitch. Excuse my language. But little do y'all know, y'all got 2 copies of the same genes of fucking Down syndrome and shit. Now you got a Down syndrome baby. So with what we're doing, like, we can go like real deep and we can go in depth with these genetics, and depending on the level that you're trying to play, you can play it and you can stack the odds in your favor versus freestyling it or not knowing what you're doing it to where, the odds are stacked against you to hit the genetic lottery. And I like to use the game dog as an example because a lot of us can relate to that. But if I'm breeding
breaking up again. Breaking up. Nah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Clear,
Okay.
clear.
Okay. So, like I was saying with the game dog, when you're breeding dogs to be crash dummies or one-trick ponies, as a breeder, that's easy. As a trainer, that's easy. Okay. Either the dog has the will to win or not. Now, when the dog has to do more than just crash out, that's where talent comes in. Can you hear me, Ready?
Yes.
Okay. That's when talent comes in, y'all. When it comes to what we trying to produce as high performance dogman engineers, frames, brains, and motors, oh, that's hard. You really got to prey on the lottery to make a freak that got the frames, the brains, and the motors. The level of competition that I want to be in when it comes to my dogs have to have all three. There's no way I'm gonna get a military contract if I got a crash dummy.
Right. Not fucking with you.
No. There's no way I'm gonna get a military contract if my dogs jump out of a fucking, helicopter and let's say, something happens where they gotta cut the cord and they fall from 3 stories and my dogs can't handle that impact of that fall. They need that. My dog need to be durable. That frame got to be able to handle that shit. It got to be a durable frame, functional, durable frame. You know what I'm saying? There's no way I'm gonna get a military contract if my dog can't comprehend who's friend versus who's foe.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that my dog, I'm gonna get a military contract if my dog doesn't have the drive to pursue the enemy, even at the point of no return, even under the point of pressure, even in the eyes of death. There's no way. But that's a hard thing to produce.
Yep.
Ain't easy. I got to hit the lottery to hit those. It ain't easy. Go ahead, K-Man. I saw you tapping in. Go ahead, K-Man.
No, I didn't. Or I wasn't trying to.
Okay. So this genetic lottery term, please believe that that's what it is. I don't care how good you are in the lab. I think I'm pretty good in the lab. But I know that I'm only assisting God. I'm not God in the lab. I'm not God in the lab. I'm the dog God to my dogs. I'm not the most high God who created everything that exists on this planet. So I know I'm at the mercy and the will of God when it comes to whatever I produce. I know better than that. But those of us who are engineers, we can stack the odds for us versus against us. And I don't want you guys to ever assume that it's guaranteed just because you got top tier this and top tier that, you bred this with that and that with this, and your lines is that and your pedigree says that. I don't want you to ever speak out your mouth that is guaranteed that you're going to get this level of dog or that level of dog. Never guarantee it. Say, you know what? I can only hope that we get it. This breeding will be the closest way to get to that level of dog is this breeding. Now, the puppies might not come out showing you what we might want to see, but the DNA, is there. The genetic profile is there. You might have to take some more time developing it, though. You might have to put in some work. You might have to put some overtime in, but the genetics are there. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater when you're playing the genetic lottery. Don't assume that mediocre pedigree compared to your competitor's pedigree or somebody else's pedigree won't produce you a secretariat. Don't think that only line breeding solidifies and puts a stamp on those genetic characteristics that you want to lock in. Maybe your F1 will be the one that locks in all of your traits that you want. Maybe that F1 will be the forefront of a line you're trying to create. Maybe you got to do an F2 to get that stamp. Maybe it might have to come out of the F3. What I'm telling you guys is the lottery, we playing it each and every time we breed. Even though we have these formulas, it can change every breeding. I'm telling you that because I've done seen all kind of variances. I bred AK twice to the same bitch and seen the variance. Seen variances, plural. However, I seen AK and all of them, though, that's all I needed to see. But I seen variances from the same two parents, different times, different litters, different offspring. But I don't expect the same, you guys. I don't want you guys to expect the same unless you're breeding like that. If you're breeding like that, you're not breeding for performance. If you're breeding for the same, you're not breeding for high performance. There's only one way you breed for the same. Close line breeding, heavy inbreeding, high koi. That does not equal high performance. That subtracts performance. Gives you what we understand as inbreeding depression. We know this over here. We understand this over here. But to hit the lottery, and the lottery is Secretariat. The lottery is Mayday. The lottery is AK-47 Chopper, double XL Pitbull Freaking Nature. That's the lottery. To hit the lottery, we need genetic variants. We need that roll of the dice, like the coach said. Like Miss ChatGPT told us, the roll of the dice of genetics. We need that genetic mixture to roll and mix and mix and mix, and then let God bless us with the freak. And because we know the mathematical equation to get us the freaks, that's how we roll our dice. That's how we roll our dice, y'all. So I hope that you guys all paid attention tonight. I hope that you understand that it is a process and nothing is guaranteed. I don't care how good your dogs are. But if you breed with the prepotent dogs, or you breed with a prepotent line, if you want to call it that, you have a plan of action. If you want the freaks, you know you need to reach for hybrid vigor for the freaks. We're not line breeding for freaks. We need outcrosses for freaks. If you want freaks, you better have an outcross sauce. If you ain't got an outcross sauce, you're not getting freaks. If you want extreme hybrid vigor, you better throw another breed into the recipe. Don't be afraid of that. Do what you want to do with your dogs to achieve your goals. Don't listen to these people who don't breed dogs like we do. If you got disease in your lines, it's time for you to throw another dog up in there. Don't go with the same breed. Yeah, you might fuck your whole shit up. But if you got nice prepotent dogs in your line, you know how to fix it. You know how to disguise it. If you're a master so-called breeder, elite breeder, you know how to throw something in and mask it. You know you're supposed to keep that whole litter. When you throw that whole complete hybrid F1 of a different breed. You're supposed to keep the whole litter. But you have a better chance to fix those genetic negative genes that you got up in there. But if you so tuned into your phenotype so much and you love your phenotype so much, but you're not willing to sacrifice the phenotype for the vitality and the health of your dog, then it is what it is. Accept it. Don't lie to yourself as a dog, man. Accept it. You just rather have the dog be what it be, look the way it look. You don't care if it's living 9 years. You don't care if it's got epilepsy, whatever it might have as a dog, cancer, whatever it gets. You don't want to fix that. No, you don't want to take the whole motor out of the race car. No, you want it just to look fast. We know better over here, gentlemen or ladies. Through my example, through Caveman's example, through Reddy's example, through you guys' example is how we're going to show the world that we're going to keep creating better dogs. Because we're not going to lie to you about how we break them down to build them up.
Facts.
We're going to tell you the truth about being a pioneer dog, man, and how to be one. We're going to inspire you to create your own breed if that's what you want to do, is to create a breed. Coach, I'm not trying to create a breed. I just want top tier level high performance dogs. However I get it. There's no way I'm going to be locking in and bottlenecking my genetics just so I can have a breed that I created. There's no way I'm going to do it. Because the only thing that matters to me is creating the highest level of performance dogs I can ever create. And I know that bottlenecking my genetics, I will never do that. But I digress. Anything else y'all want to add? Anything else with that we should hit? Because we about to hit the new year pretty soon, man. Anything else, anything you want to, talk about, recap, anything y'all want to say?
I was going to ask you about something about what would happen if you put AK into that bulldog you got and then threw the bulldog back. It's still not going to fix the breathing?
It will fix the breathing, but it will fuck up the genotype.
That whole look of it, right?
It'll fuck up the phenotype. Yeah, it'll fuck the phenotype all the way up.
And you still wouldn't be able to bring that back without fucking up the breathing that you just fixed?
It would take a long time to bring the phenotype back, and then it would be like going backwards. I actually fixed it with Tigris. Like I fixed it with Tigris. Now it might be recessive in there though. If I throw it back to like a bully type, it might come back. But with that outcross with Red Tiger and Tigris, it fixed it. Yeah, because them dogs can breathe. They're not like Red Tiger Jr. Yeah, they're not like Red Tiger Jr. But see, Red Tiger Jr., he's more like he's more like his daddy.
Phenotype.
Yeah, he's more like his daddy. Dead on, damn near. You know what I mean? So I could see why his didn't. And I really would expect him to be fixed off the top because I threw him to Silver Bullet, which has my Neapolitan Mastiff, German Boxer, American Bulldog game, Pitbull cross, band dog. I threw, so I thought for sure he would get fixed. But remember, like I told y'all, he was a singleton. Right. So out of that genetic cluster, he took more after Red Tiger. Versus, let's say the other siblings might have really got that way from Silver Bullet and would have probably breathed better or maybe looked different. Maybe their phenotype would have took more after Silver Bullet. Maybe they would have been a blend. So with Red Tiger, Junior, I had to accept the fact that, you know what, because he was damn near his daddy's twin, I accept that even over the fact that his breathing didn't all the way correct itself, because at least I got a replica damn near of Red Tiger. You feel me? In Red Tiger.
Right.
So I'd rather have that in him than his breathing, because I don't have Red Tiger living no more.
Mm-hmm. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, so I had to take the good with the bad, ready? Just to have Red Tiger phenotype here in the flesh.
Yeah.
But the Red Tiger and Tigress, oh yeah, they can breathe.
Yeah, that's the miracles right there.
Yeah, that's Tigress right there. That's why she going in the Hall of Fame for me, because she produced me some good ass fucking dogs, and I had her last on my list when it came to my American Bulldog females.
Mm-hmm.
But she produced me some fucking amazing dogs.
When I see that AK dog, I think he could like outdo them bulldogs in about anything. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, he can. Hey man, he can. He can outdo it. Honestly, he can outdo a Malinois. Okay, man.
I mean, I'm saying that's the direction I'd be going. I wouldn't be trying to fix no bulldogs. I'd be trying to turn them into that.
All right, so okay, man, check this out, right? So I already have that. I already have AKs. So and I have AK added to my line of pit bulls, and I have an AK band dog. I already have that. So for my bulldogs, I wanted to create an extreme bulldog phenotype that can breathe like a pit bull. That's what I wanted to do. So that's why I didn't want to destroy the phenotype of bulldog. I like that look, but I wanted them to be able to breathe and perform like a pit bull. That's why I had to figure out that that's impossible. You're not going to get that big ass feet head with that bush snout, them big ass bodybuilder muscles and them wide frames. And, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get that and have high performance in the same series. It's not going to happen.
You can get pretty much all that except for the snout.
But that extreme front that's with them bulldogs.
Yeah, like an American Bulldog or like a Boerboel.
But the Boerboel don't have that extreme front.
So, I don't know. They had extreme. I mean, not extreme, but they had some pretty impressive bulldogs that could work. But you know, when you get over that threshold, you know, which that snout is the main one. No air. You can't breathe. You can't respirate. You can't work.
And that front.
I mean, I don't like too extreme. I like a dog that can move, like fast. Because you'll find out that there's only a certain amount of performance that a dog needs, and there's a lot of dogs that are not extreme that are very capable of taking people down, taking animals down, killing, you know, breaking bones with one bite, and they don't have big massive heads. And actually I've found that a lot of your skinnier head dogs are a lot more game, it seems. You can look at your crazy dead game dogs. You know what I mean? They don't look like an American bully. They look like a fucking mongrel, little skinny headed hound. I mean, not all of them, but it seems to lean that way anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
For survival.
Yeah, I mean, them extremes are recessive traits. You know, that big headed gene's recessive, that double muscle's recessive.
Okay, man, put your microphone on mute real quick. Okay, so to answer your, to elaborate on what you're saying, right? The only reason why I even got into bulldogs, American bulldog type bulldogs, is because of that wow factor, like the Brazilian bull, like the American bully, that extreme big ass cow neck, big heads, double muscle, wide chest, wide rears, the wow factor that always gets everybody, because one thing about people in general, they're visual, weird. And most people will never utilize a dog's performance because they're never working their dogs anyway, right? So being that people want to see a dog that looks like it's tough, looks like it can perform, has extreme features, that automatically gets you like, oh, wow, I like that. And that's something that I've always been interested in, is a dog's physique, a dog's frame. So me being a fan of the bulldog frame, extreme bulldog frame, the double muscle gene, the big heads, I was like, ooh, as an artist, I was like, what if I can take that frame and put a different motor in it? That was why I bought all those fucking bulldog Siemens from Buff Dogs. That's why I bought my Rocky Mountain Bulldog. He's Red Tiger and his brother from Buff Dogs. That's why I bought 3 different bitches from three different breeders. Two different breeders. 2 different breeders and 2 different fucking bred type bitches. So 3 different American Bulldog bitches. I have 2 Rocky Mountain Bulldogies, and then 3 American Bulldogs. So I got 5 Bulldog studs to take to those 3 bitches. So I had a plan to see if I can put a fucking motor without sacrificing the phenotype. Now, because of genetics and what's in those dogs, that's something that I had to find out by cooking with them. Okay. I didn't know what was behind it. Okay. I had to find out. So at the end of it all, yes, if I go and take an AK or a dog that can breed, let's say AK, like you said, I'm destroying the phenotype of that extreme dog. Take an AK to that bulldog.
Yeah, I believe that.
Take away that frontal. It's still going to look. It's still going to probably look decent, but it's not going to look American Bulldog decent.
Well, check this out. I can't believe I didn't think of it, but you said it. Look at the Brazilian bull, the pit monster. They're extreme, but they don't have that snout. They got that terrier snout. They got
but they can't function.
Hold on, K-Man. If you look at like Sheik and all them guys, they got theirs is not as smushed as that bulldog, but that shit got a short muzzle and shit. They still, to me, they look like bulldogs in the face, but not super. Their short is like a mid muzzle, like the bully and shit. They got like a mid muzzle, you know what I'm saying? Because they're using American bullies, which we know already have bulldog in them already. So they're using American bullies with that American bulldog. That Sunshine Bull, she even said that they use oldies, they use mastiffs, they use bulldog, like they use all kind of shit in them Sunshine Bulls that's in them Brazilian Bulldogs. But AK is like a fucking pit bull Malinois. That's what AK is. So you put him on there, just like I did with the AK-74 band dog when I took him to a Neapolitan Mastiff German Boxer American Bulldog game Pitbull. Of course, Nina had a muzzle, but if you look at Chopper the Man Stopper, AK took over that shit.
Yeah.
And not only that, even with the Bulldog one, the only thing that's different is the muzzle. It's not
breaking out. Breaking up still.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Can you hear me, Caveman?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So you have to try your best to match phenotype so that you don't completely destroy. And because I was trying to make an extreme performance dog, there's no way I could throw AK into that shit. It'll take me too long to try to rebuild the phenotype, and then by that time I'll fuck it up anyway, because now I'm taking dogs that have extreme looks and then I'm defeating the purpose.
Mm.
And that's why I just said that's not the wave. This extreme and high performance don't go together. I accepted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, like you said, certain dogs, you don't need to have that big old head to do what it need to do. That's an aesthetic. I don't want a short muzzle. I want some teeth. I want a muzzle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want super wide chest because I don't want elbow dysplasia. I want tight fucking shoulders and elbows. You know what I'm saying? I don't need an extreme rear. You know what I'm saying? I just need that rear to be functional. You know what I mean? Like, but if I'm trying to appeal to the masses, they want extreme. That's what they want to buy.
Yeah.
So I was trying to dance with that, Caveman. In reality, I figured out that it's impossible. And I accepted it. So now I'm moving in a whole different direction with my program. And I don't give a fuck if it's extreme, but I can't throw AK in there. To answer your question, Ready? I can't throw AK in there because he's so pre-potent that he'll dominate the shit and then I have to restructure it all over again.
Right.
And that would defeat the goal of me having a bulldog program.
Yeah.
So you're looking to keep that phenotype and just breed them a little healthier.
I wanted to, man, but that's impossible. It's not gonna. I can't do that. It's not gonna happen. An extreme dog, like a Brazilian bull, is not gonna perform on a level like Vito said. They're not bred for that. So me to have a bulldog like Red Tiger and to think I could put a pit bull motor, but not only do I got to put the mind of a pit bull in there because he had a lot of drive, but I got to put the lungs, I got to put the breathing capacity, I got to put the veins, I got to put the certain type of muscle, I got to have the tight shoulders so he don't have dysplasia. I got to tighten the chest. I got to do a lot of structural work too, and organ work.
Mm-hmm.
His organs aren't built to withstand that type of performance. You know, he's not able to cool himself off because that's not how he was bred. Hey, shout out to you, Inquisitive Dejin. He said, would you consider those Cannon Bulldogs extreme or you're headed in a different direction?
Are you breaking up again?
What about now?
Kinda.
All right, let me try it. What about now?
Nah.
Hey, you hear?
Yeah, but you're still breaking up.
Motherfucker. Oh, man. Can you hear me now? Let me watch this. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Clear.
Is that better, y'all?
Clear.
Okay, cool. All right. To answer your question, Inquisitive Dejin, I wouldn't consider his dogs extreme. If you look at Red Tiger and you look at his dogs, they have muscle, like Red Tiger has muscle. They have nice size, nice heads. But if you look at Red Tiger versus his dogs, Red Tiger got more bone. He's got a bigger head. They got similar muscle tone. I think Red Tiger got bigger rears. Red Tiger's an extreme. That's an extreme dog, Red Tiger is. So I would consider his bully type with great muscle. That's what I would consider my brother Cannon's bull, but I wouldn't consider his extreme. Now, his dogs seem like they can breathe pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I commend him for that when his program. However, what I want, like my motors and shit, my is it's not gonna be like a bulldog. It's gonna be like Tigress. And I wish I could have showed you guys what Tigress can do, but Tigress was not about biting spring poles. She was more into prey. She that was her thing. She didn't give a fuck about no balls, but let her be, around other dogs. That's where you would see what she was about. And then the fact that she can go in the heat that I live out here in California, and because I've had bulldogs that can't breathe, and I see how she breathed, and she would go through the heat like it wasn't shit, and be, I'm like, oh shit, I got something special. I got something special here. However, she had extreme features too, but not like her half sister, Big Bertha. Not like Red Tiger. Okay. So, man, it's a song. Hey, Inquisitive Degen, it's a song and a dance. I got semen of dogs that can breathe that I still haven't used yet. That's for me.
Breaking up,
So,
coach.
Try it in.
Can hear you, but you still breaking. Nope.
What about now?
Yeah, you good now.
Okay. So I wouldn't consider his extreme, to answer your question, Inquisitive Degen. He got bully type with great muscle. And they look like they can breathe pretty good too. So he has a good bulldog program. So salute to him. But like I said, for me, my level is, like my level is high, man. I'm about to show y'all some shit this spring when, shit. I'm gonna show you these youngsters. I'm gonna show you Red Tiger Jr. too. I'm about to show y'all some shit. Y'all gonna be impressed. Y'all gonna be impressed. Trust me. You'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to performance that I want to see, and then I'm gonna let you guys hear the breathing. I want to illustrate the breathing. I want to show you Red Tiger Jr.'s breathing, and then I want to show you these new youngsters, how they breathe, so that y'all can see what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then the muscle on the tigresses and them Red Tiger and them tigresses, shit, man. Y'all gonna be impressed.
What's them dispositions like?
I mean, it's hard to explain because they still young, so they got that adolescent mind, but very intense dogs, which equates into, very intense drive. Very intense drive. You guys will be impressed. The only thing that I'm gonna say right now that I'm not happy with, because it ain't nothing perfect,
right,
is because Tigress has got a like a higher rear than I like. Some of them have a higher rear. I get it because of the bulldog, but
yeah, you breaking up again, coach.
Can you hear me?
Nah.
Can you hear me?
Nah.
Yeah, I'd like to see some updates on that orange brindle pup out of that litter he's talking about. That male.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh. All right. Can you hear me, K-Man?
You can hear him?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, K-Man?
I can. Oh, I can now.
Okay. Cool. I don't know. Maybe everybody on the internet right now. I don't fucking know. But yeah, man. We I guess shit. Anything else you guys want to add? Anything else that we can add before the end of the year? Anything you guys want to say?
Shit. Salute to more dope pods and to new elevation, new breeding. Yeah.
What about you, K-Man?
No, I'm good. I guess nothing comes to mind.
This is what I hope. K-Man, can you put yours on mute? This is what I'm hoping for all of us in 2026. I'm hoping that what we've built over these years, this community of high performance dog men and dog women engineers, I'm hoping that what we've been putting out there through the airwaves, the internet, all social medias, that more and more people of like mind will find us and add to our super dog man and dog woman computer. I really hope that through our example, more people will be in tune with being creative and innovative when it comes to these dogs and accepting the fact that new is here. The engineers, the year of the dogman engineer, the time of the dogman engineers is here. And I hope and pray, I pray that people respect what we're doing when it comes to these dogs, because all we're doing is making the dogs better. We're not here to make them worse. We're here to make them better. And to accept the fact that there are people who know how to create and innovate. And don't knock us because you don't know how dogs are created. Don't even commentate on us if you don't understand what we're doing, and we're not doing nothing new. This ain't nothing new. This is something that's been done since. So in turn, I wish you guys and pray that all of you guys, see your vision become a reality, just in everything, not just in dogs, just in everything that you got going on in your life and that you pray for. I hope and pray that you guys receive what you're asking God for, but in turn, understand that faith without works is dead. Okay. So if you are praying on something and ain't putting in the work, it's not gonna manifest itself. And something that I have to learn, I've been learning shit for a long time, all my adult life, is that it doesn't happen on your time, it happens on God's time. That's the hardest thing I'm having to learn right now. Is it doesn't really happen on your time, but it's gonna happen on God's time. And that's what we gotta have faith in at the end of all this. However, Still got to put in that work and more work 3 times. You can't leave the game if you want to win. Just know that. So believe that we're going to elevate in 2026. Our community is going to grow. We're going to get more supporters, which that's what we really need is supporters. And, hopefully we can really make this an ecosystem, man, that we can all benefit from, all of us. So keep that in mind, man. But that's pretty much all I got to add. I'm just very grateful for you guys. And hopefully we can move forward from here.
Yes, sir. Well, Happy New Year, man.
Time I try to unmute and say something, it takes like seconds, literally seconds.
Got a delay.
Take down so it's not picking up all the background noise.
Yeah, I apologize for the internet difficulties. But we're all working together. So shout out to you, Reddy. Shout out to you, K-Man. Shout out to you guys, chat. Let me know, hey, coach, you're breaking up so we can figure it out and we can have a clearer podcast. So hopefully, it's been storming out here in my area too, man. So I think that's the reason why.
I'm about to get a snowstorm tomorrow and the weekend. The biggest one so far. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's been crazy out here too.
We got something blowing in the too. That guy's just outside. It's cold outside right now. Wind chill.
You know what God is reminding mankind? He's reminding us that we ain't shit compared to other nations.
Word.
That's
always in control.
Always in control. Always. And you better put some respect on the Most High. You know what I mean? One thing I do hate to hear the youth, they try to put everything on God. Y'all better stop that blasphemy. Y'all better listen to Tupac. He told y'all to stop that blasphemy. Putting everything on God. Y'all better shut that up. You better put it on you, not on no God. Now, God don't play your games. Shit, when God put it down, you can't pick it up when God put it down. So don't put your mistakes and your fucking verbiage and your follies on God. That's what these youth be doing. They love to hear that. I hate when they say that shit. On God, on God. Shut your ass up. God ain't you. God don't do that dumb shit y'all motherfuckers be doing. So if y'all saying that, y'all better take that out your vocabulary. Y'all better not be about that blasphemy. You better put it on you, not on God. I digress. So anyway, let me give everybody a shout out, man. I think we beat it up. Ready? Okay, man. I think we beat it up. That was a good closeout for the year. We hit them with some great content. If you guys missed the content, go through all of them, man. Take your notes. Okay. You might hear some technical difficulties with the in and out of our voices, stuff like that. For the most part, you can understand. If we got Miss ChatGPT in there, make sure you go and watch and look at the notes. We put it right there on the screen. You can read it yourself. Do your work. If you're serious about your craft, put in the work. Okay? Put in the work. But we've taught you a lot this year, man. We've taught you a lot last year. But this year, I think this year already, we done put them, we done put a lot of top tier level, damn near doctorate level, master degree type level content now, man. I think that's what we did this year.
Yeah. A lot of great. Yeah. It's not at the end. Just getting started.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say. Just getting started.
Deep dive for 2026.
You said what? Deep dive? What'd you say?
dive, yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's only gonna get harder and harder. It doesn't get easier now. You know that. Shit, it only gets harder.
Yeah.
But like you said, Caveman, the wave has started. You know what I'm saying? Like the wave has started, and there's people catching it, which that lets us know that we doing something right.
It's a fact.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep every one of y'all in my prayers. Y'all be safe this New Year's, man. Hey, we have to keep fighting. I'm gonna tell y'all that we have to keep fighting. If you have to call an audible, call an audible. Anything that's gonna get you to the finish line, do it within reason, though. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't do nothing that's gonna set you back. Anything within reason, do it. Do it. Other than that, no breaks, no cuts, no retakes, no reverse. We only move forward. Y'all understand me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's do it, man. Now watch this. God gonna bless us. Time, but God's gonna bless us once we build this community up and we can create that league that we've been talking about. Man, imagine that. You know, that's what I see. I see that. I see the forest in the trees. But I mean, we gotta get to it first.
Yep. Slow and steady.
Slow and steady win the race. Patience is a virtue. So big ups to you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Until next Thursday, man. What we out.
Word. Happy New Year, fellas. Happy holidays.
Yep. See you next time.
Yep.
See you next time.
Peace.
Peace.